Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 14. Once you've got qualifying, then the main 1 hour race. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sim Racing Alliance. And this is where it all counts. As all eyes go to the light, and we are racing.
He brakes late, almost takes out the car ahead of him.
He's getting a tow, a flash.
Argy right on the exit, rear end squiggle. Who's going to get the move done here around the outside?
Oh, dang!
Byron ran it so shallow there, and this has become a 4-car battle. Game of inches as the BMW is in the paint.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SRA Season 15. We are officially back. So, my name is Trey Morgan, and I am joined in the starting. We're back at a fun track, a very fast track with a giant straight. So, you know, it brings a whole lot of different track types together, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, it will. And, you know, it's the first race for the season, so...
Yeah, we're going to have the most
people... all
people...
excited.
Yeah, tomorrow. Race 2, we're going to the Nürburgring. Race 3, we have our first non-standard race. We are going to Barcelona at night, which should be a lot of fun. And then race 4, we are going to Donington Park, and we are bringing back from last season the variable weather conditions. So it might rain, it might not rain. We don't know. We'll have to see. After that, we have a short 1-week break, you know, to give our drivers a little bit of a breather before we go to Hungaroring with normal weather. And then we go to my personal favorite track, probably, of the season, Laguna Seca. It's a fun track. It's a crazy track, especially with the corkscrew, so we'll have to see how it goes. Then on to race 7, we go to Kailami. First time that I'll have driven this track. We've not done it in at least 2 seasons, so it should be fun going there. And then we end with the Temple of Speed, Monza. Steph, are you looking forward to any of these races?
I like the wet races and the variable weather ones. I find them to be the most interesting of them all.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a weird strategy call because you don't know what it's going to be.
I love Kailami. I love driving it. I love that track. It is my favorite.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but I've not been able to drive it yet. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
It's lovely, I think.
All right, I will take your word for it. But we are not going to worry about the rest of the season yet. We're going to worry about Paul Ricard.
Paul Ricard makes great racing, not fun hot lapping.
I had fun hot lapping it, but it is very boring for a good half the lap. Paul Ricard, amazing track. So Sector 1 is kind of fast. You basically just have a whole bunch of switchback chicanes leading onto Sector 2, which is just a giant straight. Most of the overtaking that we're going to be seeing is probably going to be happening on that straight, just because straight line speed is so important. And there's not many other good overtaking zones except for maybe turn 1. But after the long straight, we have a whole bunch of corners that are longer than you would think they are. They're all essentially over 90 degrees. Turn 9 is over 180 degrees, so it'll be interesting to see how many drivers get caught out by these awkward corners. But
yeah, that last section has always been the bane of my existence.
Yeah, we had an endurance race for our endurance season series here at Paul Ricard, and that was in the wet, which was a whole different animal. But turn 9 is probably going to be the area where we see the most issues, just because it's very easy to miss your braking point and wash way out wide. But we will have to see, wait until we get to the actual race to determine that. But Steph, would you go ahead and go over our drivers?
Our drivers, sure. So I'm not going to put any stock in the order that they're in because nobody has any points right now. But we will go over everybody that we've got, at least for the first time. So we have Roger Demukes with I can't, kind of fuzzy for me. So but looks like it might be Black Flag Racing. I'm going to say that's what it is.
Yes.
And his partner is Raymond Lorenzo. He is, and the next group will be Michael Cox and Ben Van Loo with Paddock Motorsports. We've got Michael Santos and Justin Mustine with Champion Motorsports, the McLaren team, Orica. James School and I want to say Geronimo. Sorry. It's just like what pops in my head with the first few letters. But it's Howard. Oh, this is really long. Okay. How about you read it for me for a second? Because like my right now it's a bit. I have to look at a different.
It's a
thing.
bit fuzzy.
It's kind of fuzzy. Yeah, it's just fuzzy on the screen I get to look at.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh, there. I'm gonna use this one. Wait, I got it. I had a big brain moment. BOF Time Zone Racing, powered by Scuderia. Oh, there. Oh, this is not in English. It's Paventari. Cameron Hastings and Sig SVG in the Yellow Subs Racing team, driving in a McLaren. Cliff Hemingen and Renard Blanc. Blackout. That's it. Nice and short. Rob Warren and JP May are teamed up for the Silverish Arrows in a Mercedes. Then you've got Brad Garman and Zach Watt in Potato Performance. Glenn Jacobs and Mike Cook are together for the Mid-Pack Mafia Goodfellas in a BMW M4. Yes, it is like, oh, the other screen. I had that moment. Brad Bertram and Don Draper in Renounced Racing. Mark DCE and Brian Echolm. I'm on a boat, MF Racing. The Bentley.
There's a lot of good team names here.
There are. Give me a good chuckle. Austin Thibodeau and Cameron Thibodeau in the Ford. So I guess are they brothers, cousins, or father, son? I don't know. But they're box. I'm sure someone will let us know on that one.
Absolutely.
John Baham and Peachy M. Stearns for season ban bound. Oh gosh, please don't tell me you're season ban bound. Vanquish Reading Team.
Yeah, I really hope they're not season bound.
Yeah, that's like a whole. They're gonna vanquish people and become banned for the season. I hope not. Please don't. So let's look at the next page. We've got Andrew Dwangbanglio, Stephen Palarin, and the other screen hasn't updated yet, so I can't read the thing.
Do you want me to read off the team names?
Yeah, until the other screen updates to it. Yes. There we go. Apex GP. Oh my goodness. The Canadians. I love it, by the way.
That is pretty good.
Nolan Witt and Andrew Hopkins with Gout. Juicy Jake and Neil Leader with Red Eel Racing. And when I saw there was somebody with a Juicy Jake, I was like, I have to say that name at least once. Neil Leader and Dan. There's 3 Thibodeaus.
Huh. They have a whole clan here.
I know. Red. Oh wait, no, it's Reined In Racing. Dan Thibodeau and Josh Parker. And rounding out the field is, last but not least here, Kevin Unda and Corey Colt with Milwaukee Tools.
I didn't know we had sponsors like that here.
Yeah, I know, right? And that is our field going into D5 this season. For now, you never know who's going to get shuffled about in the future.
Yeah, so D5 is one of the smaller divisions that we have. It's only about 36 racers in comparison to the top 4 divisions, all having at least 45 or so. So it is very possible that we have extra people join us later. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to show off the team standings just so we get a more clear picture. I know you won't be able to actually read it for a little bit, but a lot of names here that have been in D5 for a couple seasons, a lot of new faces. I know we'd had at least one of the Thibodeaus last season I believe, in D5. I don't know if we had all 3 Thibodeaux in D5 last season, though.
So I'm seeing that at least 2 of them are related, and it's a father-son pair. We don't know about Thibodeau number 3. But with a name like Thibodeau, they have to be related, right?
I would assume so, but you never know. Maybe they're just having fun with each other. I would assume that it's Austin and... It might be Austin and Cameron that are father-son, but Dan sounds like an older name to me, so maybe he's the father and the sons rebuked him to go join a different team.
Who knows? Who knows? But and then I also remember that, not everybody's name is actual. Oh, okay. So somebody says it's a dad and 2 sons. Dan has raced since season 10. And then, yeah, okay. I have confirmation from those that know more than we do.
That's good.
But
So,
they are related.
all right.
So it's father and my 2 sons. All right, carry on.
All right. So I'm very confused as what's happening with the server. I would be going to show you what's happening, but I keep losing connection to the server, so I don't know what's happening.
I saw that. I was gonna go check in too and see if we're populating and getting on our way, so you don't have to just listen to us ramble on.
Yeah, I think they might be restarting the server, so we will come back to you in a moment. But for now, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
All right, so welcome back. We are in a little bit of a delay right now, just because someone had a late registration. I'm not sure who exactly it was, but I did notice that there were 37 entries on the registration list, but only 36 people on the overlay. So I assume that we will be getting going once that registration is taken care of.
Yep. So, yeah, I guess you get to hear us ramble on a bit. What else do we have in our list of things to cover?
I guess we can go over the leaderboards here for a moment. There's a lot of fast D5 drivers, at least according to the leaderboards. Do you have anyone that you think will do well today? In particular?
Well, I don't know, because see, we have Dan Thibodeau at the top of the leaderboard for lap time, but the chat seems to think that there may be a higher tendency for an incident. I don't know. Somebody said all the Tibbs, all the carnage, so maybe he's not gonna, unless he gets out in front, make a clean getaway. John Baham, I don't know, but he's P2 in the leaderboards for D5. So I tend to root for people that I know till I know somebody else. And I don't know that many people. I know Steven Polarin's been in for a while, and he's in a Lexus, and I would probably lean toward the Lexus drivers as probably doing better this track than really anywhere else. It is probably the best car for Paul Ricard. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not sure how well Dan will or will not do. I think he has a good shot of probably taking pole, but like you said, I don't know his consistency, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see for that. The other thing is in the hot stint leaderboards, there's only 12 people who've been able to set, I forget if it's 4 or 5 laps in a row to get a valid hot stint. So I do think we're going to have a lot of people who are not able to get consistent laps in. I'm really hoping we avoid the drive-through error issues that sometimes can happen, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so if I actually look at hot stint leaderboards, you've only got 13 of these drivers pulling a hot stint. So that if you went by that, you've got Justin Muntean, Raymond Lorenzo, Sig SVG, Michael Santos, JP May, Steven Polarin, then Dan Thibodeau, Zach Watt, Josh Parker, Mike Cook. Well, Dan's on there again because I forgot to make unique drivers on here. Cameron Hastings and Neil Leader. The other thing I would say is that for any non-Lexus driver, maybe this wouldn't apply to the Ford. I don't know what the top speed on the Ford is compared to Lexus right now. But that straight, even if you're really great at all the twisty turny stuff, the Lexus isn't as bad as everybody seems to make it out to be there. And then once you get on the straight, you're done for. And you're stuck behind them for the rest of it. So that's kind of another thought I'm having there.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
Should be.
So
It'd be more interesting if the server makes it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're just having technical difficulties or what's going on, but I have not been able to find the D5 race chat or the D5 race server.
Yeah, I'm seeing a similar problem over here. Now I have an error.
I know that there were issues with Kuno's servers earlier today, so it's possible that people are going to have to figure out how to use the ACC connector.
Oh, and that means I have to do it too, as do you.
Yeah, so we do have a few people joining the server. I will go ahead and pull that up just so that we're looking at something other than our faces. I know that they're beautiful, but you know, we're not here for us. We're here for the drivers.
Yeah, we are.
So we are currently in a holding pattern. There were technical difficulties earlier. Yes, Motowagon, I agree. Blame Martin. Martin is to blame for everything.
Yep.
So we will have to see how this works out.
Yeah, I obviously can't even get a server up on my end right now. So
yeah, so we may or may not have a race. I'm not sure. I assume we will, but I don't know.
we probably will. They'll figure it out one way or another.
Yeah, it's also possible that D5 just had a little bit longer in the driver's briefing. I know that yesterday for the practice races and whatnot, we were doing the D5, D6, and orientation drivers had to stay a little bit longer. So it is possible that that's why they weren't able to join the server quite as quickly. But we will have to wait and see how many drivers are actually able to join.
Yeah, because I'm not able to pull it up. I'm not able to pull any servers up.
David, yes, I agree. That's just about every single day that we have issues with Kuno servers, it seems. I know we've had issues like 3 or 4 races in a row that we've attempted for our orientation races and our practice races and whatnot. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. So, Steph, I know you talked about how you like drivers that you know, and you kind of cheer for those.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it's hard not to.
absolutely. But the person that I'm cheering for, who hasn't joined yet to the server, is Santos. I raced with Michael Santos for a little bit in D6 and D5. He did pretty good from what I know, from what I remember, and he's currently P5 in the drivers rankings for hot laps, and he's also P4 in the hot stint timer, so he should hopefully have the consistency to set something up. I also kind of need him to do well for my SRA fantasy team, but I'm going to sideline that for a little bit.
Yeah, the servers are not pulling up for me, so it's a me problem.
Well, it was also a me problem, so I think it is a wider thing, but I'm not sure.
I have my tech support in-house, so.
So hopefully you can get yours fixed. To Edward Ryan in the chat, or any of our drivers in the chat that are trying to connect, go to I believe it's in the announcements tab for the drivers on the Discord. There should be a link to ACC connector, or if not, look it up online, and there should be a setup guide for how to do it. I know that there is a setup guide on the SRA Discord. I'm just not sure where exactly it is. So the best I can say to people is good luck at this point, because we have reached the point of drivers getting ready to head out onto track.
Yeah, I guess just turn the pip off till I figure it out. Sadly, sorry, but
No worries.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
It's findable. So, unfortunately, we do have one driver who I have missed on the livery setup. I don't know if they haven't uploaded their livery, if I just didn't do it correctly, or if I didn't sync correctly, but we'll see.
If it's just one, I would usually assume it's a them, not you. Not to be mean, but as long as you have everybody else's livery on, then you're probably fine.
All right. Well, we shall hope that we're fine. But for the moment, we are going to sit here and hope that people are able to connect, because I'm seeing that some people are able to connect, some people are not. We saw that with obviously you and I trying to connect, so I'm not sure exactly how well this will go, but we do have 21 people now in, and that is over half the thing. From, I believe that's pronounced Gershti. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but he has replied in chat saying that race control says the quali will be restarted. So once we get enough people in, we will restart qualifying and we will get underway. So while we are working through these technical difficulties, I will go ahead and walk through how our sessions work for anyone who's new and maybe hasn't seen us do stuff before. So our divisions have two kind of rankings. So you have our gold drivers and our silver drivers, and on our standings here on the left side, those are designated by the gold, or by the silver, grayish, and then the white placard, number placards. So the white number plates are our gold drivers, and those theoretically at least are going to be your faster set of drivers. Those are going to be the guys that have a chance to win the race. The silver drivers in gray are going to be those drivers who are kind of toward the back half of the grid, and so they maybe not be fighting for wins, but they're still fighting for points. Our point system gives 110 points for a win and all the way down the grid, and so the silver drivers are fighting against each other for a silver championship. The gold drivers are fighting amongst themselves for a gold championship, but they both share the same points total. But in order to help us keep the faster drivers and the slower drivers not kind of a little bit separated during qualifying, we have two different qualifying sessions. So the first session is where the silver drivers go out on the qualifying timer on the top. That will be from 21 minutes and 30 seconds to 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Once the timer hits 10 minutes 30 seconds, silver drivers have to finish whatever lap they are on and then return to the pits. And then our gold drivers can go out and do their qualifying from 10 minutes to 0 minutes, and then they finish their lap that they're on once the timer hits 0. And then once we do the race, everyone is mixed together. So hopefully we get going here soon. I believe we are up to 29 drivers. So we are, I believe, 8 drivers away, maybe 7 drivers away from a full grid here. Steph, how's your in-house tech support going?
Whatever the link from the website that we used to use is so broken for me. So it's not looking good.
All right, so we may not have our second camera tonight, but oh well. We've had a whole bunch of other technical issues tonight. That's not the worst that we've had. And our qualifying session is underway. We are up to 29 drivers. Qualifying has been reset, and I believe that's Michael Cook. I'm gonna go to my driver names. Mike Cook, yes. Mike Cook is our first driver out on track. We are going to go ahead and follow him around the track just to kind of give you guys an overview of what it looks from the air, and then for his first run we will go on board just to see how it looks. But Steph, obviously this track is very difficult. Do you think that there's a corner that's most difficult or most important for the lap?
The one the exit onto the straight is the most important, because that long straight and probably the last turn, those would be I would say the two most important, because getting an exit before straight is almost always like the most important, and it's a huge straight.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The straight that we just saw Cook drive down is, I think it accounts for about a third of the lap. So straight line speed is really important here, and that hurts a lot of cars. Specifically, the Ferraris don't have the best straight line speed, and so they really have to try and make up for it in the corners, or just go with no downforce, hope you can survive the corners, and maybe not get run over on the straights. As we have a yellow flag here, I believe that was just weird ACC doing its thing, but we have our first driver going out on track, so we're going to go ahead and ride on board with him. So we are currently on the pit straight, running down to turn 1. turn 1 is going to be a hard left-hander. You brake right at around 100 meters, go into the left, try and hit both the curbs for 1 and 2, and then slam it on the gas. It's going to be a straight run, flat out, all the way down to turn 3. Turn 3, you'll also brake it at around 100, and then you have this little kind of switchback of corners, which is really annoying to set up correctly, and it's very easy to either invalidate or spin. And then this is the corner that Steph was talking about that was really important. You have to try and make sure that you don't spin through the hairpin, and you don't overcook it through the next right-hander, and then through the left-hander, keep it smooth so you can carry your speed all the way down through the straight. And as I was talking about, this straight is so long, it's just hard to do correctly, as I have been requested to turn up the audio. So I will turn up ACC audio a little bit and see how that goes.
Guess what?
I
Got it.
All right.
Finally.
I may have to change the... Nope, we're good. There we go. So,
yep.
We are now into Sector 2. We are going through Turn 9, which is probably maybe not the most important corner to get correct, but it is the hardest corner, just because you're essentially braking through the entire corner. But Turn 10, also really hard to do. You have to essentially stay out a lot, stay wide on the corner a lot longer than you would expect. Here you have another long corner that you have to double apex to get it done correctly. And then here's the last corner, another sharp hairpin onto the straight. A little bit of an oversteer moment, I think, for Cook there, but he will be the first across the line with a 157. Not too bad, not too shabby, but he is immediately been beaten by quite a bit by Ma.
Wait, is that like Thomas Ma?
No, it's I believe it's pronounced Vienna Ma. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's how it's pronounced.
No, I was just thinking, like, wow, they're sharing the same last name. I wonder if there's any relationship. Probably not.
Yeah, you never know. It's kind of a crapshoot for some of these driver names. But Ma is currently the fastest on track, and they are improving, but they're also invalidated, so we won't see any of that improvement on the board at any point. Our current P2 sitter, I believe it's Corey Colt. He's about 4/10 down on Ma and is about half second up on his last time, so assuming that he finishes this lap strong, which it looks like he will, he should go to provisional pole. And of course, this is that Milwaukee team, Milwaukee Racing Blue. And that is an awesome livery, I have to say.
It is. It's nice and clean. The Milwaukee logo is really nice.
It is, and it really nicely fits onto that car.
Yeah, it does. Oh. Did he invalidate this lap?
I believe he did, because he is now down back to about what it had been, his lap. And yeah, so he has invalidated, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and watch Parker here. Parker had a rough go of last season. He had a few incidents that were really unfortunate for him, but he's looking to turn that around this season, as he is currently a second and a half, over a second up on his last time. Jacobs has gone to provisional pole. We have a spinner here. I'm going to quickly go back and see what happened. I would assume it was just an oversteer moment here through turn 10. Yeah, just a little bit of an oversteer moment and then got out of the way. So, no big issue. And then G is returned to garage. Michael Santos goes provisional pole. Yeah, we got a lot of fast drivers here.
Yeah, Santos is really cooking right now.
Yeah, so the fastest lap time that Santos hit in practice was a 1:55.577, and he's right there. He's only 2/10 down on his personal best, as he unfortunately invalidates there. but I believe he should have time for another couple laps. Let's see, who's improving right now? Hastings
Well, both
is up by a second.
Parker and Thibodeau. Yeah. Although he looks to have invalidated
Oh,
on that one.
that is unfortunate. Oh, so we have a spinner. We actually have 2 spinners. I'll have to go back to look at the other one, but this is Cox. He just had a little bit of an oversteer moment there. I believe that is into turn 4, but I could be wrong on that. And then Ma, I believe, also had an oversteer moment.
Now, if Parker can hold the delta he's got, he will take pole.
Yeah, he's honestly on an insane lap right now. We'll go ahead and switch to him so we can watch him. We'll go ahead and go on board just to see how a lap goes, but he has completed a 155.2.
Look at him go.
Yeah, that's a good lap time there. I believe that's the fastest we've seen. Yeah, so that is way above, or way better than his best time in the practice server of a 155.9. And he's only 2/10 off Dan Thibodeau's fastest time of a 155 flat. So I'm not going to say that he's locked in pole, but he's definitely close.
Yeah, and the gold drivers have not gone out yet. This is just D5 silver.
That is true. As someone else has spun, Garcia, I'll go ahead and pull this up here. Looks like he may have taken too much curbing into turn 1. No, not enough curbing into turn 1. So he unfortunately just messed up the entry. And it looks like Parker also has a yellow flag.
Yep.
But
now Santos is looking to answer Parker's time. He's 6/10 up now, and that would take pole away from Parker.
yeah, and Parker doesn't have a chance to set another lap, I don't think. He is currently on an invalid lap, I believe. No, or a slow lap. And I don't think he'll have time to get in there for another lap, as Cook goes to P2. And we have a lot of drivers down here looking to possibly jump up into these podium positions. Jacobs, Hemian, and Ma have all returned to the pits and don't have time to start another lap. So any of these drivers below them have a really good shot at trying to jump over them. But we now have Santos going through the last corner, a little bit of wide there on the...
all of it.
Yeah, he went from half a second up to basically equal. But Corey Colt is not dismayed. Driver, but I think he went out with the silver drivers.
He is out with the silver drivers. Somebody.
So not entirely sure what happened there.
Didn't listen to instructions.
Apparently not.
Speed now and Demuke are the last 2 out there. Oh no, Demuke is gold. So Speed is the...
Yeah, so Cook
is
just
out there
finished a
too,
lap.
but we should finish.
And then, yeah, Speed
And-
going across the line.
Thought I had clicked on him, and I did. Wait,
Yeah,
did
no,
he?
you clicked on him. You were good.
No, I meant, did he actually finish
Oh.
the lap, or did he?
That I don't know. It's possible that he invalidated going through that last corner. It's very easy
It
to
looked
go
good
wide.
on the race control as I was watching it, and then it just didn't finish. So maybe it was a race control thing when he stopped.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he improved on his lap time, or if he did, it wasn't by much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure, but right now our gold drivers are just now starting their first lap. Zach Watt is just now crossing the start-finish line to begin his first lap, and we'll have to see how this goes.
There is a Watt and a Wit in D5.
Yes. I remember Wit when I had to cover D5 for the last race of last season, because I kept trying to call him No Wit, because I don't know why. It is a cool sounding name, but that's not his name. His name is Wit. What's his first name? Nolan Wit. So I think Nolan Wit probably is a little bit less demeaning than Wit, but I don't know. But either way, we are currently on board with Zach Watt. He's the first of the gold drivers out, and he looks to, hopefully anyways, have a good setup. He's going pretty fast down the straight. We'll see what max he reaches. 284 kilometers an hour. And we do have confirmation that Gersich did improve his lap, and he did improve. So, good there.
Yeah, I thought he was improving.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Zach Watt just invalidated his lap. I'm not entirely sure, and we'll have to wait and see until he finishes his lap, but he did go wide there on the exit of turn 9.
It's showing invalid on my race control, so
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Yeah, with that wide line that he just took there, I would assume that means that he was invalid. So unfortunate, but he still does have 6 minutes to set a lap.
Well, Gershty, you will have 60 minutes of racing to work on that sub 56.
Yeah, he definitely
know
has
you
time.
You can do it.
Baham on his first lap jumps up to P2 with a 155.4. So normally, like, your first lap is a banker lap. That's a pretty good banker lap that he set there.
Well, and Baham was number 2 on the leaderboards with a 155.075. So he may still have it. Parker now is in there with a 155.215, which is better than anything he posted on the leaderboards leading up to this.
Yeah, so it's not out of the question that someone overtakes Parker, and with some of the drivers that are currently going now, with Baham and Dan Thibodeau. Actually, no, I think Dan Thibodeau was silver. Yeah, Dan Thibodeau was nowhere near his best lap. He had a 156.4, so he was well over a second off his best lap. So maybe some of that consistency thing.
I understand. Now, Baham has the Delta right now to take P1 from Parker.
Yeah, he's going fast. I would expect him to take it from him. I'm not sure by how much, though, by the end of this, although he is over a half second up on his best lap right now. So hopefully he's able to keep it there. We will go ahead and follow on board to see how he does. He just clips the inside apex, which is what you want to do on that corner, and then it's a straight line back to the finish line, and he is 6.5 tenths up on his previous lap.
Oof. He's a 154.8 on Baham.
Oh, that's a good lap. That is D4 pace there, I think.
Really good lap. Wow. That's better than anything posted on the leaderboards for D5 this past week.
Yeah, so technically, if you're just looking at the reference times, that is a D3 time. But as you were talking about before we went live, everyone's going a lot faster than what had been the case with the reference times. So there's a lot of people with D4 reference times in D5, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, from the time that I've joined the league to now, people have, as a whole, all for the most part, gotten faster and faster. So you see people moving around in different divisions, but each division is, as a whole, I think, generally faster than what the reference times are for that division. and it doesn't make sense, but it's just how it is.
No. Ooh,
Also, with
spinner.
Baham and the Lexus, it's got the advantage of that really long straight. So yes, he's going to post a super fast time here. He seems to know how to handle the Lexus around the corners really well. But you get to what's next week's race? Probably doesn't have a straight like this one.
I had looked it up. I mentioned it in the thing, but I don't remember.
I know. Me neither.
I have to go look it up.
I would too. It's what is it again?
Nürburgring.
Nürburgring. So, he might not do as well there as he's doing here.
Yeah, there is kind of one longish straight, but about a third of the way down there's a right-hand corner, and then another third of the way down there's a chicane. So definitely not the same crazy straight line speed advantage that there would be here.
No. So that will remain to be seen. We'll give him that token for this week.
Yeah, he's doing really good though. In fact, both of our top two drivers are Lexuses. What is it? Is it pronounced Lexi? What is the multiple of Lexus?
I don't know. There are two Lexus on. I guess it's just one of those that doesn't get an extra word for being plural.
Yeah. See, until I'm told otherwise, I'm just gonna say Lexi because it's funny. But so unfortunately, Duong Bonglio was not able to set a valid lap there, and he doesn't have time to get back around, so he is just returned to the garage. There's a few people who are improving. Muntean is about a half second up on his last lap. Hopefully he's able to hold that through the last sector, but we will go ahead and watch him. Our other big improvers are Zach Watts, currently sitting in P18. He's also about a half second up on his last lap. And then up in P7, Jake. What's his first name? Juicy Jake. Tim. Perfect. Yeah, he is about 4/10 up on his last lap. So we will have to see how that go. If he's able to keep it up. Muntean, as long as he's able to keep it up, he should be about 8/10 faster than his last lap. He lost a lot of time in that final corner though. But he does jump up to P9, so very nice job for him.
Nice. Juicy Jake is now a half a second up.
All right, we're gonna watch Jake then.
And yes, Steven, I do agree that Baham, if he keeps this kind of pace, will probably move. But I'm gonna keep my pitchfork in the closet for now, just because we're at Paul Ricard.
I don't want him in D4. Keep him back down here in D5. But there we go. Jake does an amazing job. He jumps to P3, so an amazing job to jump up there.
Wow,
according to
good job.
Gemini, it is Lexus's, but I'm going to say Lexi anyways. Let's see. So we have a few drivers still out on laps. C. Thibodeau going through the last corner there. Won't be a big improvement, but he does improve to P9, so good job there. And then the last two drivers that are on track are Zach Watts and Garmin right behind him. Garmin has just invalidated, so I believe he's returning to garage, yes. And Watts, he has the chance to improve, but he's 4/10 down, so it might just be that the tires have gotten a little too hot for him. But, yeah, so unfortunately, he does improve a little bit out of the last corner. I don't know if it'll be enough, but it's going to be close. He was close, but not close enough. So, that is our session. Baham, Parker, and Jake are your top three. We're going to go ahead and do another sponsor roll, and we will be back for the start of the race.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specialising in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
And we are back. So we are 5 seconds away from our formation lap, and we are going to go ahead and do a quick little grid walk just to give everyone their time in the sunshine. So on pole, we have Baham in the Lexus. Beside him, another Lexus, Parker. So it'll be interesting to see if they both keep position, how fast they'll be down the main straight on P1, or for lap 1. Behind them is the Ferrari of Juicy Jake, doing an amazing job there to get that car so far up here, especially at a track where top speed is really important. But behind him we have Lorenzo in P4, Cook in P5, Santos in P6, who I am not at all partial to. We have Pellerin in P7, Jacobs in P8, Thibodeau in P9, in one of the Fords. I believe it's Corey Colt in P10, Muntine in P11, in that wonderful, wonderful McLaren. Witt, Nolan Witt, not Nowit, in P12. Hemian in P13 in the Porsche. Garmin in the BMW. Speed down here in the Ferrari. Ma in the Porsche. Witt in the BMW. Then we have Duong Bonglio. Then we have another Thibodeau in P19. May in P20. Leader in P21, and I believe he was our last, I could be wrong, but I believe he was our last silver winner for D5. I apologize if I'm incorrect on that, but I believe that's correct. But in P22 we have Dismukes. P23 we have Stearns. P24 we have Burtham. P25 we have DC. P26 we have Van Loo. P27 we have Acomb. P28 we have Hastings. P29 we have Blanc. P30 we have Garcia. P31 we have Draper. P32 we have Hopkins. P33 we have Cox. And then last but not least, in the Silverish Arrow Mercedes, Warren. So we are most of the way through this formation lap, but Steph, do you have any predictions for the first lap or the race in general?
first lap and probably carnage in the race.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Best I can do. I would expect to see, based on Baham's like performance, and he seems to be pretty consistent with those higher times. So Ian Parker will probably shoot out. You've got Moto Wagon believes Warren will go for a last to first move on this one.
Well, I will certainly hope we see that, just because the spectacle.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
expect
awesome.
it, but I will definitely hope for it. The one thing I'm not hoping for is carnage, but unfortunately, that's kind of what I expect to see. I would expect it wouldn't happen probably until around turn 4 or 5, but we will have to wait and see.
It'll happen in turn 1.
I'm trying to be
this
optimistic
is Paul
here.
Ricard. No. I'm not optimistic. I'm realistic, and it's Paul Ricard. We will have carnage on turn 1. I'm pretty sure.
All right. So,
by the way, curiosity for me, because I didn't pay attention. What was the livery theme this season?
So the livery theme was real life racing. We will cover a little bit more of that, but we are about to go green. And we are going green. So we are off to the races. Parker is on the outside trying to pull alongside Baham, but I don't think he's able to. We are 3 wide in the back of the pack, though. The front of the grid. Oh, there is a little bit of contact there. Nothing too big, I don't think. A little bit of shoulder checking, a little bit of punting, but no big issues.
Yeah. Hopkins was got punted to the back, but he's still running in a straight line, so not too bad.
That's always good to see. Our order out front is the same, I believe. ACC is having a little bit of a meltdown right now, but we will push through that once we get through the first sector. Baham is still out in the lead by a good shot. Jake is falling behind, but there's a second gap all the way back. We have 2 people side by side here. I believe that's Colt and Jacobs. Colt is in a much better position to try and make an overtake, but I don't think he's going to stay alongside as Pellerin's coming back from behind him.
You got a lot of clusters in the back after from P15 on back. People moving back and forth, changing positions.
Oh my, there was a lot of side-by-side action there around P20. And there's Mark DC is still side-by-side. We do have a spinner, or a yellow flag at least. Nothing crazy, I don't think, happening. So a lot cleaner than I think we expected, but still doing really good. I'm going to come up here and watch Witt try and make a dive to the inside. Little bit of a hip check there.
Stearns and Muntian are dead.
Oh.
Heck.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to try and pull up a... Oh, there was a lot of stuff happening there.
Oh!
And he was stopped in the middle of the track.
Well, that's a rough place to be.
Yeah, it's unfortunately kind of expected that stuff like that will happen in the opening of the race, but you still never like to see it. As Lorenzo gets around Jake, unfortunately the Porsche is the perfect, I personally believe, the perfect car to attack the Ferrari, because the Ferrari has terrible acceleration, especially low acceleration, whereas that is the Porsche's main claim to fame, is its early get up and go. I don't think he'll be able to fight back on this straight, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, the Porsche is not as bad on a straight line as people make it out to be. It's not the best, but it's not terrible out there. So it's not like the old 991.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Corey Colt going side by side down the main straight. He does have the inside, which I do believe means he will have the advantage going through this corner. There's a bollard flying in the wind. I believe it just got flattened, but Colt does maintain his position. A little bit behind him, Pellerin got around Witt, I believe. Yes, he did. And they are side by side right behind him. Yeah, there's a lot of close battles going on, which is what you would expect to see in the start of the race, but honestly, overall, very clean. No one has had to pit for damage. So I think other than your odd individual battles, I don't think we're going to see, hopefully anyways, the amount of carnage that we expected.
Well, see, I expect a lot, and I anticipate it, hoping that, they'll disappoint me.
It's probably a good strategy.
Yeah. It really was way cleaner than I've seen in T1 here in a while. And yes, Tier 2 can also be very carnagey. Whoop! That was
a nice switchback there that Speed is trying to pull on Ma, but I don't think he has the speed to keep that fighting, at least for the moment. He might be able to get in the slipstream down the main straight, but we will have to wait and see. A little bit toward the back in P23, May had gotten down to 0.2 seconds, and he will have a much better exit through turn 5 until he misses the apex. I think the Mercedes has better straight line speed than the Bentley, because the Bentley to me just looks like a brick, but we will have to wait and see. But meanwhile up front, one of the Thibodeaus side by side with Speed. Speed does have that slipstream, but I don't know if it'll be enough to keep him out in front.
And he is not going to go for an inside move.
Yeah, Speed.
Oh, you've got... Yeah.
Ma went a little bit wide.
Went way out.
I didn't see. Did he get pushed wide, or did he just go wide?
No, he just went wide. I mean, it was when you're coming to the end of that straight, and there's somebody that might be trying to push side by side. You might be getting a little nervous trying to anticipate them making a move, which could be questionable, especially if you don't know the driver that well. Or maybe if you do know the driver, then you make that allowance even wider.
Yeah. Yeah, dive bombs into that corner can be... Yeah, dive bombs into any corner, but especially that corner can be terrible. Thankfully, I don't think we'll have any situations like we did at Silverstone a few years ago between Verstappen and Hamilton, but we'll see. As we have this battle is still really close. Obviously, the Ford is amazing in straight line speed. It's not as good this year because we added a restrictor plate to it, but it's still good. Maybe not as good compared to the Porsche's most other cars, but it still has a lot of acceleration.
Almost thought for a second a little further back, Mr. DC was really close to the Thibodeau, but now Hemian behind him is looking to make a move.
Yeah, so Hemian was really close behind him. We're going to go on board here with Hemian. I don't think he's close enough to DC to try and make a move.
No, not on that straight.
Yeah, and from the comments from Moto Wagon, he's saying that the Bentley is a lot faster than everything that's not a Lexus. And we can see that as he's pulling way away from Hemian. So unfortunately, no really good attempts to do anything there. Just to give a little bit of love to our current leader, Baham is in P1 with a 3-second gap back to Parker, who has a 3-second gap back to Lorenzo, who has a 1-second gap back to Jake.
Speed and Ma up there.
They are side by side once again. Oh no! Speed goes wide. He had a little bit of oversteer moment. And that's going to let two other cars by.
He's still facing the right direction.
Yeah, so that's always good that he's able to keep it like that. But he's also going to lose a 3rd place or maybe a 4th place to Duong Bungli on the Lexus. Which isn't too surprising. Will. Oh no!
And he's going to get it right back. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, Duong Bungli a little bit deep into that corner there.
Yep.
But we still have good battles.
Yeah, the P2 is probably more important than P1. It is. I mean, not P2. Turn 2. Turn 2 is more important than turn 1 by a lot. So the way he went into turn 1 cost him going into turn 2 heavily.
Yeah, they're so set up together, obviously because they're right next to each other. The setup for one corner really affects the next corner. As Duong Bunglio pulls out from the slipstream, and I believe he will be good into the next corner. Yeah, he's fully past him. So as long as he doesn't go too deep into turn 9, 8, I think 8, and he doesn't. So
The next turn, how about that?
yeah, the next turn. Also, we do have our first pitter with Muntean. It looks like he might have damage on the front of his car, so that might be why he's pitting so early. We will have to come back to him and check once he's out to see how long he's stopped for.
Now, for any of the good folks watching who may or may not be familiar with our pit rules, did you happen to go over them and I missed it?
No, I did not. Would you like to cover them?
You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, if we've changed anything. But the last couple of seasons, pit rules have been mandatory tires, no fueling. Not allowed to fuel for these races anymore. You must go out with your full fuel from lap 1 and make it over the finish line.
Oh no, Jacobs!
Hey, we lost Jacobs. If you can catch that.
Yeah, I think he just...
Oop,
Yeah, he went too wide, or he caught too much curb on the inside of turn 2 and just couldn't hold the slide. I expect we'll see a lot of that here today. He is stuck inside this pack, so it's not like he isn't racing anyone anymore, but I do think he's going to lose another place to DC in this Bentley.
And can I just note that Juicy Jake has now made it up to P4 and is just passing P3 now.
I don't know how he made a pass on a Porsche in a Ferrari on a straight, but more power to him.
Well, he probably just got a much better exit. So that's that. Like, that is probably the most important corner, is the one right before the straight.
Ooh!
And if you get a really good exit, Thibodeau goes somewhere.
Yeah, Thibodeau got...
Oh no.
Not again.
Oh no.
Yeah, that is
No.
Mark DC there. I'm going to cover Thibodeau as we watch this replay. But he got bumped a little bit into the corner before this, had oversteer moment, and then tried to rejoin and hit someone behind, or hit someone also in the back.
That would be I think that would be a bad rejoin, and look at that. Oh yeah.
And that is between Vanloo, Acomb, if I can click on him, and Hemian.
Jacobs,
oh no, there's another.
Hemian.
This is a different one between Hemian.
Oh my word, guys!
And that's just a straight up rear ending, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he just lost focus or what, but the turn 1 chaos that we were not privy to has occurred here. And it kind of looks like Hemian's a lot slower than he had been. I'm not entirely sure if that's damage related or not, but we also do have our first drive-through penalty for Mark DC. And that's really early. We're 13-ish minutes into the race, and he's already got a drive-through penalty.
I don't recall. I could be very wrong, but is there, like, so every once in a while there's those corners where you can get a double penalty on some tracks. I don't recall if there's one here.
So if there are any, I would assume it was the turn that we just went through of turn 9. Basically, if you cut the outside of the track, you can get a much better exit. If you get a cut on the inside, on the apex that you have to take, I think you can get a warning. And then if you cut the outside again, I think you can also get a warning. Don't quote me on that, because I am definitely not in the know for this kind of stuff, but the one thing I do know is that we have a great battle here for P3. We have 4 drivers all shuffling around each other. We have Lorenzo and Jake going side by side in turn 1, and then right behind them, Santos is trying to hold off Colt. Santos letting Colt have the inside. Lorenzo is over to overtake Jake, and now Colt is trying to size up Jake, and I think he's gonna have it into this corner here, as long as he doesn't hit him. Oh wow.
Oh, what was that?
Colt just absolutely sent that. I think he missed his braking point. I'm going to quickly pull that up from the interior view. Oh, I missed it. But yeah, I think he just missed his braking point. Amazing avoiding action there from Lorenzo to not get hit by Corey. But that was insane, as now Corey is side by side with Cook. He will have the inside line here, so he should be able to hold it as long as he's not already past it. It looks like he's already getting past.
Just ahead, Lorenzo's looking to get past Santos, but didn't go for it at the end of that straight.
Yeah,
The
just a little bit too
Juicy
far
Jake
back.
tries to hold them off.
There was a brief yellow
speed
flag
in
for
the back
speed.
up.
I'm going to see if there was anything there.
Doesn't look like it. He's still going the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, so he had a little bit of an oversteer moment, but a great catch there, as just ahead of him, Garmin and Thibodeau, C. Thibodeau, are going side by side. We do also have another drive-through penalty for E. Garcia. I'm not going to cut to him because we have an amazing battle going on here. Almost another rear ending. Almost another 2 rear endings. But we're going to go ahead and watch this from the wing of C. Thibodeau. I don't expect that the Beamer behind him will be able to catch him, because that Mustang still has insane straight line speed. And he's not able to catch him here, but he still has time.
I'm going to keep an eye on Lorenzo and Santos up fighting for P4 up here. Lorenzo's just kind of like stalking him.
Please do.
Juicy Jake's just hoping they'll keep fighting because he's gaining time on Santos now with over a second behind them as long as they keep battling it out.
Yeah, so on the main screen, Thibodeau not able to pull away from Garmin, but he is able to pull up to the back of Ma. Not really close enough to get a good advantage from... Well, he might be close enough for a good slipstream effect. He is gaining time, but we'll have to see how that works out. Lorenzo and Santos were going side by side there. And a little behind them, Cook and Colt were also going side by side.
Yes, they're just all over. Now, earlier, somebody was noting that DC was bumped and immediately hit with that drive-through. And what I will note is that ACC does have some funky moments where you could end up going off and still take a penalty, even if you hit a wall off the track. There are some wonky places overall. And it's unfortunately probably what he got there. Had 2 or 3 in the bag, and it's unfortunate.
This track is also one of the easiest tracks, I think, to get track cut warnings on. I'll go over a couple of them, but through turn 1, at least with the way that I drive it, which might be completely wrong, but it's very easy to hit those sausage curbs on the inside of turn 1 and get a track cut. It's easy to go get too much curve on turn 2, both on the entry and the exit, and get a track cut. And then for turn 3 here, it's very easy to get one of your all 4 of your tires onto that curbing and get a track cut. So definitely not hard to get drive-through penalties here, unfortunately.
A check on Garcia quick. He went yellow and then went to the pit, so I was worried that maybe he got knocked off and immediately RTG'd and had it, but nope. just went off going in. Thankfully.
Yeah, this track, since you have to slow down so much on that pit straight, it will sometimes throw. Oh, wow, that was a great catch there from Lorenzo. But it will throw a yellow flag for people pitting sometimes, just because of how it works. A little bit behind them, Pellerin just got around Witt. I'm going to quickly pull up a replay of that since we missed it. Yeah, so Pellerin just did a great job there, got to the inside. Witt gave him more than enough room, and he went through. Up here, we still have our ongoing battle for P3. Jake has somewhat solidified himself into that P3 slot for the moment. I don't know how long it'll be until they start fighting again, but we'll have to see. As Gismukes gets around Watt, Zach Watt. I think Zach Watt had a bit of a moment here, but we will have to watch this replay.
Yeah, real quick. And then you've got up for P5, Lorenzo and Colt are battling it out going into this turn.
That they are. And this being the slowest section of the track means that any little mistake can cost you a lot. It looks like Colt messed up the entry to that little thing there as Lorenzo goes way wide.
And Colt takes it.
Yeah, now they are still side by side, and Lorenzo will have the chance to slipstream down the straight. But I don't know if he wants to. I would assume that he would want to, but he's not so far. So we're gonna go on board here.
He's being.
Is he past him?
Yeah, he's taken that inside line, and
wow,
they're gonna fight for the next part.
That they are.
Meanwhile, back behind you, Thibodeau and Ma. Oh,
Thibodeau and Ma. There was a brief yellow flag. I'm gonna quickly jump to this just to kind of see what happened. Ooh, just a little bit of contact there, but they both saved it. We've seen a lot of good saves here through that corner today. So, good job on our drivers so far. So we have a current about 5-way battle for P10.
Hastings in the back. Looks like he just took himself out.
Yeah, we have that replay going in the picture-in-picture on the bottom right of the screen. He almost saved it like the other ones that we've seen, and just had a fishtail.
Yeah.
As Hastings has another issue. And we have our first pitters. So May and Speed are both into the pits, and they don't have drive-through penalties, so this is what they're doing for their actual pit strategy. Oh no, Garmin goes into the wall.
Oh! And I somehow was on that, so they're going to blame me for commentator cursing on that one, but...
Yeah, it looks like he just had a bit of an oversteer moment through turn 3. A little bit weird, that one, because normally you don't see moments like that there. Especially when you don't hit the inside curb.
Well, he was fighting... I don't know if it was Watt, because, haven't gone off. And Draper now was falling behind as a yellow flag. But Garmin was right behind somebody, like super close, so maybe got himself a little uncomfortable and ended up making a mistake that cost him pretty dearly.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the moment for that we saw with that yellow flag. Just a little bit of an oversteer moment. But we have multiple people going side by side with each other. Warren and Leader are side by side. Leader goes way wide to make sure that there's no contact. And then Cox had been side by side with Stern with Acomb. But I believe that Bentley's power just punched through the air and got past him before we got to the main straight, or to the end of the main straight. So yeah, we are seeing some interesting patterns, I think, where the Bentleys are a lot faster on the straight than I would have expected, but maybe that's just because I don't drive Bentleys enough. I'm not rich enough for it.
Wit looking to make a move on Polarin and struggling a bit.
Oop, here we go.
Or Ma. It was. Oh, race controls be a little wonky, so my apologies.
Yeah, Moto Wagon here in the chat is got all of the phrases you could ever want. I do love that slogan. I hope that we see someone actually put that on a Bentley. Or maybe even funnier, put it on something that's not a Bentley. But speaking of passes, we have Wit going past Ma. He has gotten around him, so I believe it's just a matter of keeping it around the outside.
Oh!
Ma did a great job there to hold it around the outside, and he got back past him. I don't know how he held that on.
Well, he held it on because it's a Porsche. It's Porsche things. It behaves beautifully in the worst moments and horribly in the best.
I didn't go back far enough to watch that replay. Dang it.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if who went into who in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was Ma coming in too close, or if Wit pushed out too far. But that will be for our what are they called? Man. Wit dropping back a couple of spots now. As he misses breaking point there, it looks. Yeah, it's that midpoint in the race now where people are starting to just be real spread out.
I didn't realize I was muted.
Ah!
I've been talking for like the past minute, and I was like,
really?
I'm not hearing responses
I wonder
here.
what happened. I was like, wow, you got really quiet.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have to mute yourself for coughs.
Ooh.
You forget to unmute yourself.
Santos. Up here,
Ooh.
getting close to Juicy Jake.
Yeah, Santos has pulled Jake back in. We had seen Jake pull a bit of a lead. Colt and Lorenzo have both fallen back. They're still within picture, but Santos definitely trying to get back. And now Santos is diving to the pits.
Is he going to try to go for an undercut?
It certainly looks like it. And normally, I don't know. There are differing opinions on this. Ooh, there was a yellow flag for one of the Thibodeaus, but I believe that's just for him pitting.
Yep.
But going back to this, there are differing philosophies on what you want to do here. My philosophy is you're going to use your tires harder when you have more fuel, so you always want to undercut, pit before the 30-minute mark. I have heard from other drivers, like I believe Adam Santana and Cube Master are the people who I was talking to about this, but they both say that either you pit at 30 minutes or go for the overcut, because keeping your tires warm longer is more important. Now, I don't know who to believe, so.
Yeah, and I think it's very track dependent. So anybody that goes for the undercut, you go in early, you get your tires. Well, toward the end of the race, they're going to start to be worn out. Yeah. Either way, or if you're doing all right, then you've got fresher tires at the end when everybody's fighting and battling, and it's important to keep your grip.
Yeah, it's fair.
Oh.
Oh no! Warren and Blanc come together, and they're on the entry to the main straight.
Triple, like...
Yeah, I'm gonna watch what happens here. I think what happened was Warren in that
It's a triple hit.
Yeah, Warren in that Mercedes just wasn't expecting the two guys in front of him to be that slow and just had nowhere to go. I don't really know where you would place the blame on that, other than maybe just a series of unfortunate events.
Uh-oh. What happened? Juicy. Oh, they went into the pit. Phew.
Yeah, we're gonna get a whole bunch of heart attacks from this. We do
We
actually have a yellow
are.
flag though.
Draper is a valid yellow flag. And it looks like, oh no, Demuke is a pitting yellow flag.
Oh, Draper just lost it on the corner entry there.
Oh,
I wonder if he just has his brake balance too far backward.
well, if he spun at some point in this race, his tires might have overheated or have a weird spot in them.
Yeah, it's fair. So,
You know,
and it's unfortunate. He'll probably try and pit soon as, yes, he does come into the pits. We do have a stop-go 30 penalty for Vivian Ma. Or Vivian? Viana Ma. I apologize for mistaking these. So that would be caused by speeding in the pit lane, I believe. So, just unfortunate there. Lorenzo is right on the back of Jake. Neither of them have pit, or no, both of them have pit.
to the pit.
So, this is a battle for position, and they have to battle it straight out. There is someone just ahead of... Who am I following here? Lorenzo? I believe that's Jake right in front of them.
That's
But
Lorenzo. So
yeah.
that's Cook. So you got Juicy Jake followed by Colt, who's gonna be passed by Lorenzo soon.
Oh, and then
If Lorenzo has
goes wide.
anything to say about it. Okay, or maybe not. Lorenzo's trying.
Yeah, he's certainly trying to get past him. I'm a little bit behind there. We have, or ahead of them actually, my apologies. Stearns was side by side with Acomb, as Thibodeau now goes
You and
into the
I-
pits.
Hop into the same thing at the same time. What? Lorenzo going past Colt in that high speed turn.
Yeah, I think Colt
Making it
may have just
sick.
missed his breaking point there. But either way, amazing move for Lorenzo. Hopefully he's able to keep it up there.
Yeah, man, he's gonna be hunting down Juicy Jake, who's looking rather juicy to him right now.
Yeah.
The comb is... Oh, that's a pit. So,
Yeah.
all right. Let's go
Yeah.
back to these guys.
Yeah.
Following each other down.
Yeah, farther back, Garmin is trying to go around the outside of Jacobs. I don't know if he'll have the speed to make it around the outside, and he does. I believe Jacobs... Oh, no, he goes a little bit wide. So Garmin probably went a little bit deep there just to make sure that he kept his lead through that corner. You have speed tokens. Can't hurt to use them. Just don't use too many of them.
Nope. So now everybody's got fresh yet, maybe a little cold yet tires.
Yeah.
And second half of the race will be interesting to see when and if they start really pushing for positions.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that are like just over a second behind the person ahead of them. We have reached the point of the race where the entire track is being used. We do have a little bit of a train here between Pellerin, Dan Thibodeau, and I believe that's Ryan Dismukes. Of course, the two Lexi are going to pull up to that Porsche fairly quickly down this straight. And I think Thibodeau's going to look for a move on the inside, and he is. No, he thinks better of it. So no move this corner. Maybe in a few corners, but not this time around.
Yeah, I mean, his best bet is to probably be right up behind that Porsche coming into a long straight. Start finish straight, maybe enough for him to get past there.
I
actually drove the Lexus here for a little while just for fun, and it was not terrible around the corners, but might not have the same handling as that. Well, definitely doesn't have the same handling as that Porsche.
Yeah, a little bit back. This is a replay of Jacobs on Bertram, I believe, or maybe Garmin on Bertram. I'm not entirely sure which. I apologize for not knowing. I believe it was Garmin on Bertram. Got around on the outside of that corner. As our leader comes into the pits, I had another heart attack because it was a yellow flag, but no, he's just pitting. So our leader comes into the pits. Parker, our provisional P2, we will have to see where he comes out, as Lorenzo has a drive-through penalty.
Huh? Lorenzo is no longer in contention with Juicy Jake.
Oh, so that'll, I believe the pit time is around a minute 10, including the stop. Not including the stop is probably going to be around 40 seconds.
Try to make this move.
And he does make the
good.
move.
I mean, if I were Juicy Jake, I would fight it, knowing he's got to go through that whole penalty, and he's just going to lose all that time again.
Yeah, but at the same time, having someone in between you and Colt, who's right behind him now, probably wouldn't be the worst idea. Because then you kind of have a protection.
Yeah. He's probably, but knowing that this guy's out of his protection anyway. I mean, Lorenzo's got to get himself through that pit lane in the next couple of laps, and
yeah,
I would imagine would not do it.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going to do it, but then he didn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe hoping he'll get some distance on Jake before having to do that, so he can get that spot back. He does have 23 minutes to make that drive through.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I remember correctly, race control will disqualify you if you don't take the drive through within a certain amount of laps.
Yep.
So he does have to take it within, I think it's 3 laps.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what he's thinking about putting it off.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and move a little bit farther back here.
So I have David saying that he thinks the yellows are because they're cutting across a white line going to the pits. We were told, and I quote, "Cut that shit." Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to actually say that on stream, but oh well. My apologies to everyone else.
Yeah, I think you're probably okay. We do have another drive-through penalty for speed here, unfortunately. We are getting to the point in the race where those track cuts are beginning to catch up on people.
Thibodeau, I'm looking to move on Witt down this long back straight. Run back straight, yeah. And taking the inside line.
He had a little bit of an oversteer moment, though.
Yep. Still close.
Oh no! Colt and Jacob, they've collided.
What?
I'm gonna pull this up on replay.
Not Juicy Jake.
Oh no! So it looks like Jake saw Colt go a little bit wide there. I'm gonna try and pull this up and go on board with him. But I believe he saw a gap that maybe wasn't there. Yeah. So he saw the gap on the inside of that corner, and he just thought he could fit there, and unfortunately he couldn't. Oop, and I'm in heaven now. There we go.
Lorenzo is taking his pit. Leader went off. See what happened with that. I think it was just...
Oh, we're both pulling up the replay at the same time.
Yeah. See, great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Up, just a little oversteer and back on track.
Yeah, so an unfortunate moment, but I believe he only lost one spot there. I'm going to pull up to now where Colt has come out from this. He is currently in a six-way battle for 8th.
I just pulled up to Thibodeau. Let's do that.
We're doing
I will
great.
To Polarin, and we'll do a passenger's view so you can see anything that happens in front of him.
Yeah, Polarin here in the back of the pack. I do think he has the best shot of making a pass on this straight, although Thibodeau is side by side with Colt.
Ooh.
And I
Polarin
think Witt is going to try and get past him too.
Yep. And he's doing it.
Yeah,
so far.
He does get there. Witt goes a little bit wide, so he wasn't able to complete the pass. And I think unless he's able to perform a really good switchback, we won't be able to do fight against Colt for a little bit. As Stearns is pitting. Again, another heart attack. We need to stop with these.
I know, right? I know. I'll be so glad when this track is over.
Yeah. Colt got back past Thibodeau. I'm not sure how exactly that happened. I'm gonna pull it up in replay.
Okay.
And of course, I didn't go back far enough.
I will note that the fastest lap is by Baham with a 155.155.
And that's in race trim. That's insane. He's setting quality laps essentially. So, yeah, I do believe that Baham here is going to D4 fairly soon, but we'll have to see. But right now, we're going to watch Thibodeau try again to get past Colt. He's a lot closer on this lap than he was in the last lap, so I think he should have a good chance of getting past him, but we'll have to see. But we're going to go ahead and ride along on the wing here. As Duong Bonglio has now pit, and I believe he's the last person who has not pit yet in this race. So once he's done pitting, we will go ahead and quickly cover our biggest movers of the night.
Oh, Thibodeau getting past Colt. And Colt getting past Thibodeau. That did not work out.
Yeah, Thibodeau had an oversteer moment there. Wasn't able to complete the pass. Was a great job to get alongside him with that speed in the Lexus, but not able to complete it, unfortunately. So we will be continuing this 4 to 7 way battle. There's a little bit of a gap here between Pellerin and Jake. Pellerin's fallen back to about a second, but he's still within a fighting chance. And he's still in the top 10, so I'd say he's doing pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, he is.
A little farther back, Mark DC has gotten past Warren on the straight with that Bentley power. So, great job on his pass. Hopkins and Hastings also go side by side. Draper. No. Who was that went wide? That was Hopkins. Yeah, Hopkins went a little bit wide there. Meanwhile, I believe Jacobs had a bit of a moment here. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to go ahead and watch this replay because he went from right behind someone to about a second behind someone. Again, it looks like I didn't go back far enough. But we are about to have a Thibodeau pass, it looks like, here on the back straight. Ford on Porsche. Thibodeau pulling to the inside of the corner, which is the preferred line for both attack and defense. I believe he'll be able to hold it, but they're also side by side up front between Thibodeau and
the
Colt.
other Thibodeau is passing Colt at the same time. So you got two Thibodeaus making passes.
D Thibodeau goes wide, and he goes wide again through turn 9.
Oh, wait, I'm on the right. Okay. C Thibodeau made it stick. You got D Thibodeau. I'll get C Thibodeau.
Yeah, so D Thibodeau
Where's-
had gotten it in there, but went deep. There's too many Thibodeaus in here.
There are. Isn't there a third Thibodeau on our list?
Yes, so we have D Thibodeau here in P7. We have C Thibodeau here in P11. And I don't know where the
couldn't find-
third one is.
So that must be B.
I think it might be A. Oh no, Colt!
I can't catch him there.
I'll show the replay here.
I'll run-
Oh, you're already showing it?
I got it.
We're
It's in the
get-
picture-in-picture.
It's in both.
I went back 30 seconds just to make sure we
Ah.
didn't miss it.
But yeah, so just a little bit of an oversteer moment. Asking where E Thibodeau is, I'm not sure. Because he had been here at the start of the race, I believe. He might have had connection issues like we were having at the beginning. But I'm not sure, to be honest.
So it's C, D, E, not B, C, D.
Apparently. Yeah, so we have an Austin Thibodeau, a Cameron Thibodeau, and a Dan Thibodeau.
Okay, it's an A Thibodeau.
Yes. Meanwhile, we have Van Loo trying to go around the outside of Acomb. Not able to hold on to it, which is a little bit surprising because that Ferrari does have amazing brakes, but maybe just trying to make sure he doesn't do too much or have too many issues. Meanwhile, Jake almost runs into the back of Witt there. Was able to hold it together, thankfully, but a little bit of a close call. So we're going to ride here on the wing of Witt for a little bit. Yeah, hearing these wonderful engine sounds of the AMG. Not the best engine sound. I don't know what the best would be. Maybe the Nissan, but you know, a good engine sound is always good.
The Lexus is actually really nice to listen to.
All right, we will go ahead and ride along with Pellerin then, just to listen to this. And yeah, that is a nice, clean sound there. Jake is getting really close to the back end of Witt. They are kind of slip sliding all over the place. Motowagon is saying that the V12 AMR is the best sounding engine in the game. Because it's a V12, I will probably say that you're right.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we don't have any V10s as far as I'm aware of. I don't think the Bentley's a V10.
The V12 is a nice option when you're doing enduros on Mount Panorama.
All right. Yeah, so it looks like at some point Acomb did manage to get, or Van Loo did manage to get past Acomb. Not exactly sure where, so unfortunately I can't pull it up. Motowagon is saying that the Audi and Lambo are both V10s. Unfortunately, we don't have any of those in this division, so I can't ride along with those. And that is unfortunate.
Yeah, I was just thinking a little bit ago. I was like, wow, I don't remember seeing any Lambos out there. I haven't in
a while.
Occasionally, like one or two, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really been rather unpopular over the last year.
Yeah, when I tried driving the Lambo in their career mode, because for those of you who don't know, the career mode is you start out with doing, I believe it's a Lambo test. And I absolutely hated that car. It oversteers to no end. But, you know, so that could be part of the reason. Because if a car is hard to control, you need something to balance it out to make it good.
Well, I mean, when they first changed all of actually when it first came out, it was great. I drove it for several seasons before we started doing the the balancing in SRA, and it was a really fun car to drive. It might be a setup thing, and very much enjoyed it. I believe that ACC gave it some ballast and changes on their own also. Yeah, I know when they brought in, it doesn't handle the weight ballast well. So if you add weight to it where they put it in the game, it just changes the handling of the car so much. It's really unpleasant. Like more so than I feel like other cars.
I'd say that's probably a fair reason.
Yeah, I hear Fosley in the background as he secures that. He goes, "What, the Lambo?" Yeah.
Yeah. So here in the main screen, Jake and Witt are really close to Dan Thibodeau. We essentially have 4 people all within a quarter second of each other, as Jake has a little bit of an oversteer moment.
Wondering if Jake has front damage or from that incident earlier. It might be changing the handling of that car.
It's quite possible, but I don't know if I can see any damage there on that car. But for the Ferrari, the main place that you have to worry about damage is the rear end. It's such a strong turning car, essentially, that if you don't have a stable rear end, you will fly out of a corner very easily. Or at least that's the experience I had with it when I drove it last season. I really didn't like driving it. Maybe that's because I'm a Ford stan, but we'll ignore that. Meanwhile, here in the back, I believe that's what this is what you're covering in the pip.
Yep.
Garcia and Muntean are going side by side. Garcia looks to have the edge. Yeah, I believe Garcia started going a little bit wide, and so Muntean had to take avoiding action. But Garcia does keep that position for the moment. We do have another drive-through with P. Stearns. Unfortunately, I think that'll take him close to the back of the grid. But it is rather unfortunate. Meanwhile, back out close to the front, Witt and Jake are right beside each other.
What?
Witt goes a little bit wide.
Oh,
Jake, no!
Oh!
You could just see that coming.
Again!
Oh.
Oh!
You could see Witt going a little bit, having a little bit of a moment. I'm going to pull this back up.
And Watt goes out also just because maybe he decided it looked like fun.
Yeah.
Lorenzo is also a yellow flag now. Yeah, he just slid out.
Yeah, he just understeered into the next car over.
So there's
that's really
Lorenzo having a hell of a time.
Yeah.
If I can, oh no, I didn't quite catch that. Well, just the end.
Yeah, so Jake has now had 2 really unfortunate incidents where he's gone for a gap that I don't really think was ever there. With Witt, the Witt incident, I think Witt may have had a slight oversteer incident into that corner that made him change his line. I'm not going to say that for certain, though. But either way, just a really unfortunate end to a battle that's been going on for essentially the whole race.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know if they're getting toward the end of the race and they're getting greedy, or there's them over there. What a disaster.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Someone saying stop go 30 for pit lane speeding? I don't know.
Well, someone was asking what happened to Ma. Because they were at the, yeah.
Okay.
And then there is a note that the career mode intro Lambo is the Super Trofeo, not the GT3.
Aha. Well, I'll just say they're both terrible.
You have to drive it first.
Look, I don't have to try something to know it's bad.
Nobody else is driving it. It has to be bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, it got batted too hard, and nobody's driven it. Like, hardly anybody drives it since then.
Yeah.
Oh, Lorenzo.
I think he just had an oversteer
yeah.
moment. Not entirely
Yeah, I think
sure.
race controls seems to be getting a little too excited about marking things yellow.
So the thing is, at least for me, when I have oversteer moments through turn, I believe that's turn 8, right after the main straight, is most of those are going to turn into wrecks, especially when you have people right next to each other. So I have a feeling that the game might be coded to just automatically throw a yellow flag whenever someone is doing that, just because if something does happen, it's going to be catastrophic.
P3 Santos went off
for
Cook to come through and just cook him.
I'm going to quickly pull this up here.
Yeah.
Oh, just an oversteer moment.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why, but I'm having weird visual artifacts where I can see the blue and red stripes through the cars.
Oh.
I will blame AMD for that, but I don't know. It might just be a setting that I've done wrong. But either way, as you were saying, Cook got around Santos, and so now we actually have a fight for the podium.
Yes, we do.
Oh no, Dan Tippett has a drive-through. Ugh. I think that's now 4 drive-throughs that we've seen. So yeah, really, really unfortunate. Thankfully, no one in our true big top, though. You were saying?
Oh, Colt back in P9 looks to be making moves soon on Thibodeau. He's trying. Maybe that's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is a Ford-on-Ford battle, so you're not going to have really many strengths and weaknesses. No, don't, please don't. Oh, thank God. That was really close. I fully expected someone to get hit there. As I believe that's Dan Thibodeau going into the pits.
Oh, wait. He's going to the pit. Phew. Come on, guys.
You would think that we would get used to it at some point. Especially since we knew he was going to have to pit. But I guess not. Yeah, so Thibodeau into the pits. Colt tried to make a move on Thibodeau, the other Thibodeau, into turn 1, but wasn't able to do it. Baham.
Wrong.
Oh, no.
Wait, what is this? What is this?
I think this might have been a incident with someone he was trying to lap.
Flag.
Oh!
I think you need to pull that up.
The blue. Oh no! I don't know what the guy he was trying to overtake and the blue flag just didn't turn in.
He still maintains his lead at 14 seconds, so...
Yeah, but that's a major cut, and that could have been a whole lot worse.
Yep. So, kudos to him for it not being worse. Santos...
Oh, no.
What's happening?
He went off on the inside of that turn there. I'll let you do the honors in the pip.
Whee! Oh, you went too far with that one.
Just decided to play Tokyo Drift there, I guess.
Yeah. The part of Tokyo Drift you need to get is when to stop the drift and go straight. It's too much.
I mean, he got half of it right. He stopped the drift. He just didn't go straight afterward.
No.
Not going to give him half credit for it?
I guess. I mean, it looked kind of cool, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. So,
Go back and check on Colt.
Yeah, this is the closest battle that is up front. We do have a couple other battles that are close behind. Jake and Witt are still fighting it out. I'm kind of hoping that Jake doesn't try too much, because the last couple times we've seen him make dives into corners, he's not been good. His speed spins in the last corner. I'm going to pull it up on replay.
Hey.
Or you are.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
We double got it.
Sorry.
We'll get this streamlined for race 2, but yeah. So it looks like he just spins.
Old habits die really hard.
That they do.
All right, I'm going to sit up here on the Colt and Thibodeau thing.
All
and
right. I
Park
will
a
let you
camera
watch
on that.
these. I'm going to watch Jake here. Oh, and he just had a little bit of an oversteer moment just before the long straight, so I don't think he'll have a chance to overtake Witt there. So I'm going to go back to another Thibodeau, Dan Thibodeau. He has completed his drive-through penalty and is down into P17. So a big drop, unfortunately, but he's still in the race, so... And I do... it looks like he'll have a pretty good chance to overtake Speed here. As he goes side by side. And now past side by side. And he should be able to pull out in front of that Ferrari. And I don't... The Ferrari might have a chance to fight it back, but I don't think so. Oh no!
Oh, I can do that.
I jinxed him.
That's a way of fighting back.
Yeah. So
Not a nice one.
No. So Speed carrying a lot more speed into that corner. Ferrari doing Ferrari things, and then unfortunately he just clipped the rear corner of Dan Thibodeau. Really unfortunate there, but you know, it happens sometimes. Meanwhile, getting ready to go on to the back straight, we have Stearns chasing Acomb. Lexus on Bentley speed. I don't know if Stearns is quite close enough to make an attempt on him, but he will certainly try.
Oh, we're 30 seconds left in the race.
Oh no,
heck.
we're at the end of the race.
Oh, we are. That's right. I was looking at the wrong. I was looking at the other one so I could actually read the number.
Yeah, so we are on the last lap. I don't know how we missed that, because I took note that we were had 3 minutes to go before not too long ago, but we are going.
I guess we should take a look at our race leader for a second, so you know he gets some camera time besides his little incident.
Yeah, I'll keep him in here in the main camera. We will cover the other battles as they come up, but
give him a little bit of a token camera time.
Exactly. Yeah, John Bramham has been doing amazing. He's been setting amazing laps the entire time. He's pulled out an amazing lead, and he is now crossing the finish line. P1. So amazing job there by Braham.
His fastest lap is a 1:54.62.
Oh my word. That's insane. He's definitely getting upgraded. But either way, amazing job by him. Josh Parker coming across in P2, and just behind him is Cook for P3. Then Duong Bongrio in P4. Santos P5. Pellerin and Thibodeau are fighting it out to the end. I don't think C. Thibodeau will have a chance to overtake.
Nope.
And he doesn't, so they finish P6 and 7. Colt finishes P8. Dismukes and Zach Watt will finish P9 and 10.
Fights going on back here. Yeah, Garmin and May.
Yeah, Watt, Jake, and Lorenzo will finish in the order they currently are, but we have a battle. They're side by side. I think May will probably have it, and he does. Great battle to the very end, though.
Whoa.
So Speed will finish P15. Yes, they did have a lot of fun. And then we have Dan Thibodeau coming in P17, 16?
Thibodeau, I show is 16. Leader is 17. Unless somebody removed themselves from the
Yeah, I don't know.
grid already.
There's been a couple of weird artifacts going on. I think some people are returning to the pits and throwing off my count, but I could be wrong on that.
Yep. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, so Hastings and Cox will come out in P24 and P25, but there is a fight here between Cox and Blanc for the last spot. I think Cox will probably have it. And he does. So amazing job there. We have come to the end of this race. Brabham is your winner. So amazing job by him there.
Okay. Take a quick snapshot of the...
Probably a good idea to do that. Oh! Someone having some post-race fun there. I hope they don't get penalized for that, but we shall see. But yeah, so that was an amazing race that we just watched. A lot of fun battles, a lot of unfortunate moments there during that during the race. But what do you think of it? How it went?
You know, I was really impressed with how clean lap 1 was looking. And yeah, the first half of the race wasn't too bad. But the last half of the race, it started to get a little spicy.
Yeah, it definitely did. I'm feeling part of that was people being overly cautious lap 1 just to make sure that nothing happened, because I know that they drill that in, especially in the first week, and then eventually people actually getting racy toward the end. But yeah, it was a great race. If you give us just a second, we are going to pull in a couple drivers here for interviews. But yeah, so it's very fun
Working on
race
it.
overall.
Yes. Yep.
So I see John Baham there. I assume he's ready for an interview, but I will wait and see.
Well,
All right, I will go ahead and pull him up here. If my Discord works. Hello, John, and welcome to the booth.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing fantastic. Great race out there, very fast. Just tell us how it went for you out there.
It was good. Pretty quiet, you know. I did my plan. Just try to quali first and then stay there during the race. And yeah, that's what I did. I wasn't pushing super hard, except for when I don't even know how to say his name. Come on now, Duong Bonglio.
Duong Bonglio.
Help me.
Yeah,
that's the best we can do.
Yeah, Duong Bonglio is,
Yeah.
I believe, how it's pronounced.
Yeah, but he took purple lap from me at one point, so then I did another push to try to take it back, and I got it, and then calmed down and tried to do my race, you know, until I'm sure, I don't know if you saw it, but was that like the third
Yep.
to last lap?
Yeah, we caught it.
Yeah, and then it was doing my breathing exercises to try to refine my focus. I was not prepared because it looked like he was giving me the line. So I was like, okay, questionable time, but sure. So I went for it, and then, you know, next thing I knew, I woke up in the shadow realm. So fortunately, you know, I had a gap, but
Yeah, at least from our view, it looked like he may have forgotten to turn in once he gave you the line. Not entirely sure what happened, but if nothing else, it didn't affect the end result of the race, so at least there's that.
yeah.
So yeah.
So I have a quick question. Are you just especially comfortable with Paul Ricard, or is this the pace that we're going to see? Because I got to warn you, the pitchforks might start coming out.
Yeah, no, it's a combination of both. So last season, I put in a lot of laps last season just in practice, but I wasn't able to do a lot of the races just because of my work schedule. And honestly, it might be the same this season. I'm really hoping I can commit and be at more races, but I would say I have gotten faster, you know, over the last couple months. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I ended up moving to D4. So I mean, if the pitchforks come out, I mean, I'm not gonna fight it. And I do have a decent amount of time on Paul Ricard as well.
Yeah.
So kind of a combination.
So just a little bit of a consolation for you. Your fastest time, your qualifying time of a 1:54.6 is would be currently top 3 in the D4 practice times. So if you get moved up, you're not going to be out of your league by a long shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I was kind of hoping for it last season, honestly, but like I said, I just couldn't put the time in, like, to the actual race days, unfortunately. So
I understand.
we'll see what happens. You know, my teammate, he's changed his name, PGM Stearns. So he's a good buddy of mine. We're real life friends. So, you know, I'd be sad if we got split up, but yeah, I don't I don't want the hatred to be coming after me either.
Yeah. That's entirely fair. So, Steph, do you have any more questions for him? I just have one more.
Nope. I mean, I think my last question's always like, who do you want to take a shout out to for?
Yeah, sure. Shout out to you guys first of all. I look forward to watching the streams after the race every time, so appreciate everything that you do. Shout out to the Vanquish Racing team. Had some of the other guys racing tonight, like Michael McWeezerson. You go see how he did first night in T3. But yeah, and shout out to everybody in SRA, D5. Don't hate me, please. Great racing out there. No worries for the murder that happened of me. I know it was a mistake. I'm catching messages for it right now. So no worries, Andrew. I know it wasn't intentional. Appreciate it.
All right. So Stephanie stole my final question. So,
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. But yeah. So great race. Great job. And if we don't see you again here in the D5, I will personally see you in D4 since I'm racing up there. But again, great job.
All right, thanks. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
So you too.
All right, I will move him back down and then see if our P2 driver would like to join us up here. Because I do not see our P3 driver of Cook. So hopefully Josh is ready. But we'll have to wait and see. But while we were waiting for Josh...
You're so nice. I just steal people.
Yeah, I've gotten pulled in when I wasn't ready a few times, so I tried to make sure. But it looks like he is ready, so I'm going to bring him up here. Josh, welcome to the booth. Amazing race to get P2. P1 was maybe a little bit out of reach for you today, but amazing race overall.
Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a great way to start off the season, especially after the struggles last season. Moving from the Mustang to the Lexus has been a great choice so far.
Yeah, especially with the restrictor plate added to the Mustang and this entirely being a high-speed track, the Lexus is definitely the one to go with for the first round. So lap 1, you were side by side with Braham for a little bit, and then you were under a little bit of pressure, and then after that point, it just kind of seemed like you pulled away from P3 for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely, following P1 for the first few laps definitely helped me gain some time, especially on that back straight, being able to get the slipstream in the Lexus. And then once P1 pulled away from me, I kind of was able to just lap pretty cleanly without any traffic. My pace started to slow down a little bit as we got through the race, but behind me, they made a few mistakes. I was able to stay away from them pretty cleanly.
Nice. That's awesome. So you're happy with that?
Definitely.
So, other than the first lap, did you have any big moments that we might have missed on track, or was it all smooth sailing?
Definitely not smooth sailing. I think it was right before my pits. Coming along that back straight, I almost spun. I lost it and had to take the run off, which really cooked my tires as well. So that was a close one, especially because behind me P3 was gaining on every lap, and that brought them to within 2 seconds, a second and a half of me. So that was one of those brown pants moments.
Very understandable. Stephanie, other than the question you stole from me last time, do you have anything else?
I'm not going to steal it from you this time. I'll let you have it. I do not have any more.
Well, to be honest, I stole the idea from you. But anywho, Josh, is there anyone, teammates or otherwise, you'd like to give a shout out to?
Shout out my parents. They're watching the stream tonight. Great result. I'm glad that you guys were able to tune in.
Will they be watching the stream every week?
Hopefully, I mean, we'll see. It depends on how my practices go. If I have a little bit of a shaky practice, then maybe I'll tell them to skip out on that week.
All right. Well, just wondering if we need to give a shout out to your parents. We'll happily do that.
Definitely, I will let you guys know.
Awesome. Do and I read somebody's comment from the text, and I had to say a curse word, so I hope they don't mind.
No, they don't.
Okay.
It's just a one-time thing. It should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like we said, great race, great job, and we will hope to see you again up near the front again next week.
I hope so as well. Thank you.
Thank you, and
You're
have a good night.
welcome.
You as well.
Now, I've seen in chat that Mike Cook is hiding in Race Chat 1 with his other like teammate.
So I see. Well,
yeah.
we'll see if he wants to get pulled out.
Oh.
Unless you're going to steal him anyways.
Let's just steal him anyway. What you get for isolating yourself?
I'll let you do the honors on that then.
Hold on, let me move to where I go. Right. Yep. Hello, Mike Cook.
Hey, Stephanie and Trey, how are you guys?
We're doing great.
We're good.
We have like minds. We keep interrupting each other.
I know. We keep doing the same thing on to each other. Anyway, congratulations on your P3 finish here. How was that race?
It was pretty stressful. There was a lot of action in front of me that kind of let me move up. I didn't expect to finish this high, although I put in a pretty good quality lap and got me up there, and I just kept on hitting them apexes and exits.
Yeah, I mean, making it up to P3 and finish in there, that's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it. Coming up from D6, I didn't know what to expect. I was in D6 for 2 seasons down there, and my teammate and I ended up 3rd place last season in D6, and we really pushed hard to try to get up into the D5 range, and I'm glad we did. This was some great racing with everybody in the group.
Glad to hear it.
Great. Trey, do you have anything to add in there?
I do have a question before we get to our stereotypical final one. So Josh talked about your P2 finisher talked about how you were starting to catch him toward the end of the race, or maybe toward the start of the pit stops. So do you think, at all close to fighting for P2, or was it more just making sure that you kept on to your P3 once you got there?
So actually, I was pretty satisfied with P3 after, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he spun out and I ended up overtaking him, and I was like, okay, I got 3rd. I'm happy with it. And then I just kept ticking and ticking. I'm like, maybe I can get there. And I was telling Glenn, because we sit in race chat together, I was like, I think I might be able to catch this guy if I had one more lap. And we had one more lap, and I pulled it within a second. So I don't know if his tires were giving out. And I think I ran my best lap the last lap of the race. I ran my fastest lap that lap. So I may have been able to get him with one more lap.
Wow.
Well, unfortunately, we do not race to 61 minutes. We race to 60.
Yeah, what could have been, right?
Yeah, either way.
Those are the famous words, huh?
Yeah, we're like the Dallas Cowboys, always next year.
All right, well, we'll ask our penultimate question here. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first off, I'd like to give a shout out to both of you guys. I haven't had too much experience with you guys. I watched a little bit of some races last year and enjoyed your guys' commentating, so thank you guys for doing what you do. Also like to thank the Mid-Pack Mafia guys for helping me get better and telling me where I need to turn and brake and all that. And then definitely our sponsors, Race Data AO and Sim Racing Arno. Those guys are great, helping with setups and helping with our track times, getting them faster.
Awesome.
All right.
Definitely good people to be with. So.
Absolutely. So again, great job on your race today. Great opportunistic pass there to get P3. And we hope to see you up here again next week.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys again. It was great.
All right. So
where would you like to be returned to?
You can put me back in Race Chat 1, please.
I can do that. All right.
So that was a great race, great interviews. Stephanie, do you have any final thoughts?
Nope. Final thoughts for this one. Just wanting to we'll look forward to the next one. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull up the calendar here.
Yeah, because I have a horrible memory, so,
So
you
yeah.
know, forget it.
So that was Paul Ricard, our D5 drivers. The D3 and D1 races were also happening tonight, so you can watch those videos once they are done streaming here on YouTube. Tomorrow, D2, D4, and D6 will be racing. D2, D4, and D6 you can find on YouTube, and D2 will also be on Twitch, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly.
2 is on Twitch. 4 and 6 will be on YouTube.
I believe they're doing double streaming now for D2.
Oh, they are now.
Yeah, we're getting fancy.
Fancy stuff.
But yeah, so either way, it's been a great race today. Feel free to drop by tomorrow, if nothing else, to watch me race in D4 or anyone else race. But other than that, I hope everyone here had a great time watching, and we will see you all back here, same time, same channel, next week.
Thank you for joining us this evening.